All right, we're going to do some more practice of doing vertex form by completing the square and solving by completing the square. All right, the first thing I want to do is put the y on the right side. I think it just makes it easier. All right, so we got x squared plus 4x plus 6 equals y. All right, remember we need to bring the constant to the other side. So we're going to have x squared plus 4x plus the number equals y minus 6 plus the number. All right, so we want to put this in vertex form and we want to find the vertex. All right, remember we do half of this term, half of 2, half of 4 squared. That's 2. 2 squared is 4. All right, on this side we're going to combine the negative 6 and the 4, and that's going to be negative 2. All right, bring down the plus, bring down the x. All right, then we got to get the y by itself, so we're going to bring the 2 back over. So it's going to be x plus 2 squared plus 2, and that's going to be y. All right, remember our vertex is going to be the opposite sign of this number for the x. So it's going to be negative 2, and it's going to be this for the y value. So the opposite of this, negative 2, this y value, positive 2. All right, so if I wanted to draw or graph it, this is what it's going to look like. All right, our vertex is going to be at negative 2, 2. So that's to the left 2 and up 2. So this would be our vertex here, and a parabola is going to go up. Now, if you want to make sure that you got the right vertex, what you could do is graph it on your calculator, right? You could even graph the original one. All right? And if you go to your table, you'll confirm that that's negative 2, 2. You could also put in the new function in vertex form, which is equivalent. It's the same. So if I put that equation in, and you go to your table, the two y columns should match. And that'll tell you that you did vertex form correctly. All right? All right, just to make sure we know the difference between vertex form and solving to find the zeros or the roots, we're going to do one more finding the zeros. All right, so exercise 2 is determining the zeros of the function. And remember, if you want to find the zeros, that means it's got to equal 0. So I'm going to take my equation, g of x equals x squared minus 10x plus 23, but instead of it making it y equals, we're going to make it equal 0. All right, we got to swing that 23 to the other side, just like we did before. And we got to leave the empty spot for the perfect square. All right. We're going to take half of 10, which is 5, square it. We're going to get 25. That's what we're going to add to both sides. On the right side, we're going to combine. We're going to get positive 2. On the left side, we're going to bring down the minus, bring down the x, put it in parentheses. All right? If we were doing vertex form, we would swing the 2 back over and make it y equals. But in this case, we're trying to solve. We're trying to find the zeros. So remember what we did before. We're going to do the square root on both sides. We're going to get x minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of 2. And then we're going to swing the 5 over to get x by itself. So x equals 5 plus or minus square root of 2. All right, so for the first question, it was vertex form. All right, determine the shift. Find the vertex. The second one's finding the zeros. All right, let's do one more vertex form. All right, and again, f of x really means y. So I'm going to make this x squared minus 10x plus 23 equals y. We're going to swing the 23 over. We're going to leave a spot for our perfect square. When we bring the 23 over, it's going to become a negative, and again, we need the same spot on the other side. All right, we're going to do half 10 is 5, square it. That's 25. All right, combine 23, negative 23 and 25, and that's going to be plus 2. Bring down the minus, bring down the x. Bring the 2 over. You're going to get x minus 5 to the second minus 2 equals y. All right? So our vertex is going to be the opposite of this negative 5. It's going to be positive 5. And a y is going to be negative 2. That's our vertex, which is also our shift. So from 0, this is going to shift. Right 5 and down 2. So if I made a sketch of this graph, from 0, 0, our vertex is going to be 5 to the right and down 2. So it's going to look like this. And again, what I would do is I would graph this quick. Right? I would put in the original one to make sure you got the right vertex. So I put in my original equation. I go to my graph. Notice that it shifted over 5, down 2. That's my vertex. All right, so finish this page up. Practice this. All right, and then you're going to have a short quiz. After you're done, you should take the quiz. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.